Hi, I'm Tabitha.
And I'm Tony,
and we are Rainwater Ballooning. We fly pie in the sky, and we're creating study guide videos for the Lighter Than Air Private Pilot exam, which we are studying and we both have to take.
This is an exam required by the FAA, or otherwise known as the Federal Aviation Administration, for all up-and-coming private pilots.
Today, we are going to cover Class C VFR, which is Visual Flight Rules, and we are going to examine which other airspaces have the same rules as Class C. A hot air balloon pilot, and I'm currently studying to take my Lighter Than Air Private Pilot exam. It's a required exam from the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, and part of the procedure to become fully licensed as a private pilot. So today, we're going to talk about VFR, which is Visual Flight Rules. There's a lot of details in the topic, and I've found it difficult to memorize them in the way that they have been given to me. So currently, the VFR weather minimums look like this. Now, this is a full table of information, and I've been looking at this for months, and only after finding a way to make it my own information am I able to actually understand and break it down. I like to find patterns as a math teacher. By the way, my balloon is called Pie in the Sky because I like to do math. So when I see this large table, I see that there are some patterns. I noticed that the very first thing that I noticed is that 500 below, 1,000 above, and 2,000 horizontal are repeated. I see that they're repeated several times. What we see on the exam isn't which ones are repeated. What it says on the exams is it gives you a parameter, and it says, what are your VFR for this parameter? And it's not always clear. Some of the questions, there are 20 questions that are out there. Some of their questions are maps. They expect you to read a map, and from that map, tell them what your VFR should be. It's a lot. So we are going to focus on defining the classes of airspace and finding a way to actually make meaning of the VFR. Because if there's not meaning making in the VFR, how are you going to remember it? I don't know. I'm not good at memorizing. I have to have meaning. So I am going to chop this table up, and the only thing that we are going to see is anything that has 3 statute miles of visibility and 500 feet below, 1,000 feet above, 2,000 feet horizontal distance from clouds for VFR. That looks like this. So what I have done is I took the table they gave us, and essentially everything that is not the exact same as Class C airspace is currently whited out. The reason that's whited out is because it's just too much to take in. So I've made a little table up here to help me put together these. I can see that all altitudes for Class C and all altitudes for Class D have the same flight visibility and distance from clouds. Additionally, in Class E, when I'm below 10,000 feet, it's the same. And then I have this one in G. I actually don't include, this is for helicopters. I can see here below 10,000 MSL and at night. So if we look, that includes both this Class G at night, 1,200 feet or less. Well, technically, yes, 10,000 MSL means sea level. Should also be 1,200 feet or less above the surface, unless you're in Alaska. And down here, Class G at night, more than 1,200 feet above the surface, but less than 10,000 MSL, so below 10,000 MSL, and at night. If you notice, the word night has a G in it. Class G at night falls in with C, D, and E, below 10,000 MSL. So we know that there are 5 categories that all relate to Class C. I think this next slide is going to be a visual to help us with Class C. Yay, it is. Okay, so I made this visual because A, it's my balloon and it helps me to think, and 2, it helps me to see what it is for these rules. So if I am in a Class C airspace, which would be a congested airport, if I am in a Class D, which is a smaller, lesser known airport, if I am in Class E, which is controlled airspace everywhere else, or if I am in small town USA, farmland at night, below 10,000 MSL. Oh, and for Class E, everywhere else, below 10,000 MSL. So C and D are airports at all altitudes, not the crazy busy airports, but the congested and the smaller town airports. And in addition to the congested and smaller town airports, for example, in Albuquerque, it's Albuquerque Sunport is Class C. I'm from Tennessee, if you can't hear it, and the Knoxville Airport is also Class C, the McGee Tyson Airport. They're both Class C. So smaller town, not Atlanta. We are going to have the rules that we need to be 1,000 feet above the clouds. Half of that, 500 feet below the clouds. And for me, I think 10 divided by, or 1,000 divided by 500 is 2. And that is the start of 2,000 feet horizontal from a cloud. So the distance from a cloud is 1,000 feet above, 500 feet below, and 2,000 feet horizontal. If you didn't know, the reason that we need to have these distances from a cloud is because big planes that carry a lot of people use different technology than hot air balloons, and they're able to go through the clouds. If we were to be in a cloud, we could collide with them, and we would not know it. It would be like in the movie Up, when they're in the middle of a helionimbus and everything goes crazy. We don't want that. So these are the recommended distances that we need to stay when we're in Class C, which is like an airport, Class D, a smaller airport at all altitudes. And when we're below 10,000 MSL, that'll be Class E and Class G at night. We also need to have 3 miles of statute miles of visibility. Statute just means exactly 5,280 feet. So for this video, that's a lot of information, and that's all that I'm going to share with you. It's another way of saying here's what Class C altitude should be, and hopefully a way to break down this table. So if we go back and look, we just said Class C, Class D, Class E when it's less than 10,000. Jump down here to G, if you remember, it has to be below 10,000 and at night. Here's 1, and down here, here's 2. That's it.